Hello, becomers. Let me get myself situated here. You took my heart. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I gave you my soul. Oh, we tried to kill the pain and heal these scars. Now love has had its say. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Comment where you're tuning in from. Don't take your eyes off the road. Welcome. Comment where you're joining from. Let me know in the chat if you are a becomer, if you're part of the family. What's going on with this girl? That's my sister. Hey, girl. Hey, Grace. Welcome. Welcome. Let me know if you can hear me. This says there are 2 people on, so please, this second person, who are you? Aw. Thank you, dear. I'm only going to be on for about 30 minutes because I do have other things to do. But today I just wanted to hop on. I told you guys last year that I would be hopping on live randomly. So you need to have your notifications on so you can know. So share this. Share, share, share. So today I'm going to be talking about welcome for those of you who are joining. Comment in the chat where you're tuning in from. Let me know if you're a becomer. Are you a part of the family or are you not? If you're not, you should totally be a part. Breaking down walls, it feels like pillow talk. Change my thoughts, heal my mind. All the gifts you've given, great on my life I'm living. So As you all come on in, I know I did not give you guys a heads up that I would be going live today, but it was just something that I thought of in the moment. And I was like, I want to go live. I don't know, just something fun to do. So I'm going to be talking about social media. Social media. Comment in the chat. Let me know. Are you a fan of social media or are you not? Do you like social media? Do you think it's useful? Do you think it's good? Or do you think, nah? I know for me, well, I'm going to get into it. What do y'all think? Do you like social media? Is it something that is a useful tool, or do you feel like it's a distraction? This feels like a moving, Holy Spirit moving, with your hands no moving over my life. This feels like a true thing, your love introducing me so I can leave the past behind. Feels like a nothing, nothing. Nothing, nothing, I am nothing. Nothing, nothing, I am nothing. Nothing, nothing, I am nothing. So I'll say for me, I am not a fan of social media. And I know it may sound really silly because I have a whole YouTube channel too, if you are very familiar with me. But I'm not really a social media person. I've tried it year after year and I'm like, I just can't find my place on social media. I feel like it's information overload and I feel like I'm constantly being stimulated. And it's just a lot. And so that is how I feel about social media. I think that it can be good, obviously, when it comes to educative purposes, so people can learn. Um, but I also think that it can be toxic. So that's just me. That's how I feel about social media. I think that, yeah, there's definitely, with anything, it could be a good and bad thing that comes with it. But for me, I just feel like social media is not something that I see myself on long term. I just feel like it's not real life as well, too. Like, I don't know if you guys feel the same, but I feel like people, there's like a lack of accountability that comes with social media. I actually got that from this sermon I was listening to by Pastor G. Craig Lewis, and he was talking about how on social media there's just no accountability. People do whatever they want to do. You can consume what you want to consume. You can listen to what you want to listen to with no accountability. You can literally ordain yourself and do your own thing, have your own ministry. Just you can do whatever. There's just no accountability with it. Um, and so I also just feel like it's not real life. Miracle says that she's not a fan of social media as well. It's a good space for connection, but it's definitely a breeding ground for constant comparison. I totally agree, Miracle. I feel like it is a place where people can compare. They can compare themselves, and I think it's unconscious too. You find yourself comparing, and you're like, "Why am I comparing myself to this person?" So I totally agree. I think that great connections have been made on social media, but also some not so good connections because, like you said, comparison comes in. Another thing I noticed with social media is that it sometimes when I'm not even desiring something, I begin to desire it. So, like, for example, I'm gonna just use food for an example. So there'll be times I'll just be minding my business and I'm scrolling on YouTube because YouTube is the only social media I have. And I find myself and I see like maybe Chipotle. And then I all of a sudden start to crave Chipotle. And I'm like, if I did not watch this YouTube short, I would not have had the desire for Chipotle. So I feel like social media has it definitely has an influence. Definitely. I find myself buying things that I never thought about buying. And I don't really lack self-control, but I just feel like it's the influence of social media. So yeah, those are my thoughts. But thank you for your input, Miracle. If you're still on, where are you from? Comment in the chat. Let me know where you're from. But yeah, social media is just. Oh, I'm assuming that's California or Canada. I'm not sure because CA could be either or. But yeah, welcome for those of you who are joining. Comment in the chat if you are a becomer. Type in the chat, I am a becomer if you're part of this community. I really look forward to growing with you all this year. I feel like, I just feel like there's a lot of growth that is going to happen this year for this community. Oh, okay, California, welcome. So yes, those are just my thoughts on social media. I think that it can be good, but it can also be very toxic. And I also feel like it just doesn't give you the chance to develop your people skills. So like your interpersonal skills. Guys, social media is not real life. I don't think people get that. I think people like they put on this facade and they become this other person. Social media is not real life. And I think people forget that. And I think because people can control their image on social media, they take on something that they're not. So for example, if in real life no one likes you, no one talks to you, and not in a mean way, it's just that that's the reality. Like you find that you don't get along with people, you find that you don't really have a community. You get on social media, you can literally make yourself something that you're lacking in real life, but that's not, it's all an illusion because at the end of the day, it's still not real. Because once you close that app, turn that phone off, that's it. And so for me, another reason why I don't like it is because people they're lacking these skills and they don't know how to connect, like I really enjoy not being on social media, minding my business. I'm gonna get to that question. That's a good question. Miracle said, what are your thoughts on influencers? I'm gonna definitely get to that. But yeah, I feel like people lack people skills because of technology, because of the influence of technology. I'm such an advocate of, girl, go out by yourself, go on a solo date, mind your business and get off your phone. Be in the moment. You're going to be okay. Trust me. Like, you will be okay if you miss that notification. My phone is constantly on do not disturb. Constantly. And I most of the time don't have my phone on me, which is actually why I bought myself an Apple Watch recently, because I would miss calls and I wouldn't respond on time. So I had to get an Apple Watch so that I can actually communicate with the world, or those in my community. So yeah, accountability purposes. But yes, so Miracle said, what are your thoughts on influencers? So yeah, when it comes to influencers, I think that there's nothing wrong with being an influencer. I definitely think that there are good influencers out there, people that use their impact for good. And sorry, I keep messing with this. I just curled this with the wand and it's like not laying the way I want it to lay. Okay, that's better. But yeah, so I think that you can definitely use your influence for good. However, I don't know. I also feel like when it comes to influencers, there's just a lack of personal space. And so what I mean by that is people oftentimes feel like because I'm showing you parts of my life, you're entitled to my whole life. And that is not true concerning influencers. Like, you are still allowed to be a whole human being outside of YouTube or outside of Instagram or outside of TikTok, whatever your platform of choice is that you're choosing to create on. You can actually still have a private life. And I think sometimes people get offended. The community that you've built over the years, they get offended because they feel entitled to your life. They feel entitled um, to what you do on a daily basis. They literally don't want you to have any boundaries, and they just feel like, now you owe me an excuse. I also realized too that when it comes to influencing, people feel like they know everything that's going on in your life just because you show them maybe 30 minutes of your life via video. And so I just feel like when it comes to careers, if you will, because influencing is actually a career. When it comes to careers such as influencing, I think it's good. I definitely think there are good things that can come from it. People have made livings off of it. Lives have been saved, transformed, awareness has been raised concerning various issues. So I definitely think there is good to it. But I also think that with that, there are still some cons because, again, people start feeling entitled. They start to project things into your life. They start to see things that are not really there. You get hate mail, things like that. But outside of all of that, a good, I think it's a good use of your spare time if you are considering getting into influencing. I hope that answered your question. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So those are my thoughts on social media influencing. Any other questions? So you definitely have no interest in being one. I get it, girl. I totally get it. It's a whole nother world. It's a whole nother world out there with influencing. I don't know. I think there are good and bad to it. Um, would I even consider myself an influencer? Child, at this point, I don't know. Follow Jesus. Don't follow me. Follow Jesus. He is an influencer. I don't want you to look after my life, because anybody can lead anybody astray. And not that I would intentionally try to do that. I just think that people get caught up in building a following and making a name for themselves and having a personal brand that they forget the bigger, the bigger picture, the bigger why. I do I mean, I guess technically what I am doing is influencing in hindsight because I do have people that will email me often, tell me about the impact of my videos, not just on Becoming Her, but also on my other channel, Earth as Heaven. So I do, you know, if we're defining it by that standard, then yes. But I also just feel like I don't want nobody following me too closely. Go follow Jesus. I want you to be, yes, influenced by the things that I'm saying. Um, and the choices that I've made as far as walking in my purpose and things like that are good, but I don't want you to ever idolize me or look at me like the standard. I'm not that. I think that sometimes people can look at influencers as the standard. You know, I don't want that. Please don't do that. Never ever do that. Yeah. So yeah, just wanted to share. I initially recorded this topic in a vlog format, but I decided now I want to do something more chill, more laid back. Yeah. It is another world out there, man. I'm telling you. Any other questions? We could just do a random Q&A with the last 10 minutes I got. Any random questions? Get to know me better, things like that. I did actually do a video. If you haven't watched it, girl, I don't know what you're doing. But I did a video talking about myself and who I am, what I do, my likes, my dislikes, things like that. So check that out. But if you have any questions for me that you've just been wondering, feel free to ask me. I feel like I'm an open book. Of course, when it comes to certain things, watch it. But I think for the most part, I'm very conversational, and yeah, I just like having good conversations, meaningful conversations. I need to recurl this because it's really bothering me. It's really bothering me. No questions. Okay, well, what's something you have learned from this channel? Tell me something you've learned from the Becoming Her platform. What have you learned? Oh, okay. This is a good question. Miracle said, I know you've already done videos on singleness, but I'm curious to hear about your own personal journey and how you're navigating it with the Lord. This is a great question. Uh, I will say testimony still loading for sure. Yeah, the Lord is definitely doing a work in that area of my life. But I will say that it hasn't been an easy journey. Yeah, I will say it hasn't been an easy journey. Um let me just say it here so y'all know y'all hear it from my mouth. I want to be married, okay? I want to be married. So that is definitely a desire of my heart. And with having desires, of course, you have to surrender that to the Lord. I'm a avid believer of if you want something, lay it down. Okay, lay it down. And I'm going to give Abraham and Sarah as an example. I'm still going to get back to this is part of me building to get to your question, Miracle. But with Abraham and Sarah, they wanted a son really bad. And the Lord told Abraham over and over, you're going to have a son. You're going to be the father of many nations. Chill out, bro. But then Abraham and Sarah took it upon themselves to take shortcuts. Okay. And we know that that's how Ishmael was birthed because they did not want to wait on the Lord. But you know, the cool thing about God is that even if you mess up, even if you take matters into your own hands, God still will give you what he said he was going to give you. God is still going to come through. Even if you mess up, even if you drop the ball, even if you do your own thing, as long as you repent, God is going to come through every single time. Okay, take that to the bank. And so, even after Abraham and Sarah cheated essentially and they gave birth to Hagar, gave birth to Ishmael, the Lord still came back and told them that they were going to have the child of the promise and it was going to be Isaac, right? Ishmael still received some blessings, but it was always meant to be Isaac. Do you get me? And one thing the Lord was showing me was that from Isaac came Esau and Jacob. You know, Jacob, his name was also Israel. So the 12, and then Jacob had 12 sons. The 12 tribes of Israel came through the child of the promise, which was Isaac. So that's why it's important. When God is saying, wait, when God is saying, I have this in store for you, he knows why he's telling you to do that because there's something big attached to that. I don't know who that's for, but I just needed to say that. And so, with that being said, waiting on a promise from the Lord is not easy at all. And I said testimony loading because I know the Lord is doing it. But yeah, it hasn't been an easy journey when it comes to singleness in my journey, being single. I've had seasons of idolizing it. I'm gonna just be real because I'm all about being truthful. I've had seasons where I've idolized the idea of being married and being with someone. I've had seasons where I've literally prayed it away, like, Lord, I don't want this thing no more. Take it away from me. I don't want it. I don't understand why I keep having this desire. Is getting in the way of me seeking you. Take this joint away from me. Um, and the Lord never took it away. The desire is pretty much still there. So I will say that I've just learned in this season currently, I'm in a place of surrender. I'm in a place where I have fully surrendered it to the Lord. I know that it's something that is certain and that is set, and the Lord has backed that up. And so I'm not losing sleep. You get me? I'm not losing sleep. I'm like, God is taken care of. It's done. So yeah, it's not an easy journey though. With anything, when it comes on waiting, when it comes to marriage, singleness, believing the Lord for children, whatever it may be, it is not an easy journey. But the number one takeaway that I want you all to have is that when you want something, when you have a desire, lay it down. That is the key to getting whatever it is you want from the Lord. Lay it down. And when the Lord sees that it's no longer something that you're holding above him, he will release it to you. And that's why I talked about Abraham and Sarah, because when they wanted a son so badly, the Lord finally gave them Isaac, which was the child of the promise. When Isaac came, the Lord said, Abraham, go and sacrifice your son. Because Abraham had waited on the Lord for so long and he knew God's character. Whew. There's something about waiting on God that gets you to know his character. So Abraham trusted God. He said, okay, you want me to kill my son? All right, bet. And so Abraham is taking his son up to the mountain to go sacrifice him. Isaac talking about some, Father, where is the sacrifice? Abraham said, don't worry, the Lord's going to provide. And so when the Lord saw Abraham's devotion, when the Lord saw how committed Abraham was to give up the very thing he wanted, he stopped him. He knew at that moment that, yeah, Abraham is a man of faith, right? And that is why today we call him one of the fathers of the faith, one of our forefathers in the faith. If you read Hebrews 11, it talks about Abraham. It speaks so highly of him because of his act of faith. He believed God. And so, yeah, when you want something from the Lord, lay it down, surrender it. And in doing that, the Lord will be able to see, okay, this one is not going to make an idol or make a God out of the thing that they want from me. Yeah. I hope that addresses it. Oh my gosh, I only have 2 minutes left, guys. Should I stay on a little longer? Only reason I'm saying this because I have something to do in about 15 minutes. So that's why I was going to leave. I can give y'all maybe 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes and I'll be out of your way. Oh, you're welcome, Miracle. But yes, and feel free to share about your journey as well. If you're single, if you're married, if you don't want to be married, girl, if you don't want to deal with nobody's son anytime soon, this is the chat. This is the corner to talk about it if you feel comfortable, but there's no pressure. Anyone else? Welcome for those of you who are on. Let me know where you're coming in from, where you're tuning in from. Are you a becomer? Are you part of this community? Or are you just dropping by on the YouTube world? This is really fun. I really enjoy this. Like, I just had the idea, like, I want to go live. And then I went live. So, yeah. For those of you who joined So far, I've talked about my thoughts on social media, how I really feel about social media. And yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful place to be in where you can just be honest about how you feel without the fear of getting canceled. Because let's just be honest, a lot of people have unpopular opinions that they're sitting on because they're afraid of being rejected by people. They're afraid of being rejected. They're afraid of going against the norm. And when I was in grad school studying social work, I learned about this term called group oh my gosh, group polarization. Yes. So there's group polarization and there's also group think, which is when you have your own idea or a concept, but because the majority is going with something, you abandon what you think and you go with the majority. Yeah, we're not doing none of that. Okay. I really want to be honest with you all about my thoughts on various topics, social media, emotional healing, different things like that. So Miracle said, I'm in the same place as you, asking God to help me to focus on Him and not idolize it as well and not take matters into my own hands. I think that last point has been the big one for me. Yeah, absolutely. It's hard out here, girl. It is hard out here, but the Lord will help you. He will definitely help you. Speaking from experience, the Lord will help you to get busy, to find things to do, and He'll be there just to listen to you. He loves us. He cares about us, and He wants us married more than we do. Trust and believe that. So He is going to make sure that that area of our life is taken care of. But yeah, thank you for sharing. All right, you guys, I have one more minute before I hop off. I do appreciate you guys for joining. I know this was very last minute, very in the moment kind of thing, but I just wanted to try it out. I will be doing more of these. So please put your notifications on so that you know you don't miss. Yeah, put your notifications on so you don't miss whenever I do go on live. And then if you have topics that you want me to talk about when I go on live, please also let me know. Feel free to email me or just let me know. Okay, let me know if there's something that you feel like you want me to talk about. Okay, before I go, I wanted to also tell you guys, I don't know if you saw it, but I did put up a poll. I can't remember how long ago, but it wasn't that long ago, asking, oh nice, asking if I created a Telegram group chat, would you guys be open to that? Now, I got this idea from a friend actually. She was giving me suggestions on this community, and she was like, girl, like make a Telegram group or something, like a WhatsApp group or a Telegram group, just so that we can foster more of a community. Because again, I'm not really into social media, so to speak, like putting things out there and just trying to create this community that you never connect with. I really want to like get to know y'all. I really want to like pour into you guys and see you grow and see you become a woman of substance. I'm like so passionate about that these days. So let me know if you're interested in possibly joining a Telegram. And if you don't know what Telegram is, it's essentially just an app that you download that you can connect with people, like a group chat. Okay. So let me know if that's something you would be interested in as well. Feel free to do that. Let me know. But yeah, thank you guys for joining. This was fun. All right, you guys. Well, thank you for joining. I do have to go, but this was fun. Okay, cool. I'm more into WhatsApp. Okay. Well, I'll do another poll and see what people are into, and we'll probably try to accommodate. All right, but I love you guys, and I will see you I was going to say in my next video. I'm so used to saying that as my outro, but I will see you guys next time. Have a great day. Thank you for joining. Bye.